Yep, we're live. We gotta talk about this. This has to be discussed. Whew, MMA people. Talk to me. We got UFC 224. Yep. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. That whole card, I'm not gonna lie, this is an amazing card, okay? The card is amazing, but we need to talk about how this affects the UFC UFC lightweight division. If you've been tuning in, then you've been seeing this. I've already been talking about Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, again, is a clown. Justin Gaethje is a clown. Any fighter that is signed to Ali Abdelaziz is a clown, an absolute fraud, and all of their fights should be revisited. We should all go back and reflect on their careers, on each individual fight, and see if any of them were fixed. Because we know the fix is in. The FBI knows the fix is in. We all know it now. And Ali Abdelaziz and all of his fighters are definitely suspects. They're all definitely suspects. Ali is a suspect. He was fixing fights in the PFL, Bellator, whatever. He's been doing it for a long time. And we see how his fighters get special treatment for a long time. Whatever connection he has with these government agencies, so on and so forth. We know he's been an informant for the United States government, FBI, so on and so forth, CIA, all this shit, for terrorist organizations. He was involved in a bunch of shit as far as the Muslim terrorism goes. We don't even have to pretend like that's of speculation at this point. I've already done videos on this. I've already broke this down. We know he is a terrorist. We know he shouldn't be in this country, but we still not only root for his fighters, and I say we as in UFC fans, we still as UFC fans legitimize his quote-unquote fighters as doing these so-called great achievements and unachievable things, quote-unquote. But Ali Abdelaziz is a known terrorist. So all of his fighters should be under investigation. And yes, Kamaru Usman, the Nebraska, he's not Nigerian. Kamaru Usman, this is the thing. Kamaru Usman calls himself the Nigerian nightmare. He goes and creates all these other identities. Do you guys not correlate that with the fact that Ali did the same exact thing? Kamaru doesn't have an identity because his management team doesn't have an identity. He doesn't even know who the hell he is. He doesn't know who the hell he stands for. He doesn't know if he wants to be Nigerian. He doesn't know if he wants to be American. He doesn't know, right? He doesn't know where his loyalties lie. But we're sitting here again. Ali Abdelaziz. His fighters get this special treatment. Justin Gaethje, who has got finished in championship fights by Charles Oliveira. Justin Gaethje, he got finished by Khabib right before he got finished by Charles Oliveira in title fights. And then we got the BMF fight where he gets finished by Max Holloway, who came up from 145 for the BMF. But Justin Gaethje somehow says that doesn't count. That was just some make-believe fight. I just did that to save the UFC. Well, guess what? If you went out there and knocked Max Holloway out in the fashion that he knocked you the fuck out, then you wouldn't be having to make these weird-ass fucking explanations to explain things that don't actually make any sense. You wouldn't have to do that because we would already get it. If you went out there and dusted Max Holloway, you're trying to make it seem like you did the UFC a favor. You can't do the UFC a favor in this situation. Your job is to fight. You're an independent contractor. Your job is to go in there on the contracts and fulfill it. That's it. So if the UFC sends you a contract, you're supposed to fucking fulfill it. That's your fucking job. So I can't stand this bullshit how these fighters get all extra pay. Okay, yes, there are certain instances, but a fighter taking a fight on a couple of days and a couple of weeks notice, that's not that big of a fucking deal, buddy. It's not. Anybody who actually has competed, anybody who has competed in anything at a high level can tell you, you always have to be ready. You got to be ready at all fucking times. You can't just say, oh, I don't give a damn if it's basketball, football, wrestling, fucking jiu-jitsu, tennis, whatever it is. If somebody calls you out to a one-on-one, me and you right now, and says, let's fucking go. If you're not ready, then you lost. That's how the rules work, if you didn't know. That's how the rules work. You have to be ready at all fucking times. So when they call your name and they say, hey, so-and-so pulled out, can you come and fight instead? And you say yes, you're not doing them a favor. You're taking a fucking opportunity that they gave you, buddy. Let's get it straight. Let's get it straight. You're not doing them a favor. Stop it. You're not doing them a favor. You're taking an opportunity that they gave you. And that's exactly what Justin Gaethje did. And from that, he got his ass beat in one of the most, probably, in my opinion, the most climactic knockout, just from the fight scene itself, how he was beating his ass the whole time and just at the end just knocked him the fuck out. I mean, that was probably the nastiest knockout if we go, in totality of the fight, just look at the whole entire fight. I mean, that's one of the most epic moments ever. That Max Holloway dusted his ass off. And then your two title fights before that, you got smoked. You beat Fiziev. And you think from beating Fiziev the second time on short notice because Dan Hooker broke his fucking arm, which I'm going to be honest, even though Dan Hooker lost to fucking Arman Tsarukyan, I don't know that you were going to beat Dan Hooker. I don't know that. Dan Hooker versus Arman Tsarukyan is not Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Because Dan Hooker, if you're going to sit here and say that Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje looks the same as Dan Hooker and Arman Tsarukyan, then you're fucking insane. Because Justin Gaethje versus Arman Tsarukyan, that would be a fucking war for Justin Gaethje. Now, if Justin Gaethje beat Arman Tsarukyan, I would be the first in line saying Justin Gaethje deserves a title fight. If Justin Gaethje had beaten Arman Tsarukyan, I would be the first person saying that Justin Gaethje deserves a title fight. Justin Gaethje's fighting Paddy Pimblett, who he, again, said, oh, if I don't get the title fight, I'm not fighting. What a fucking liar and a coward Justin Gaethje has become because of his fucking manager. Justin Gaethje was not like this before. Let's be clear. Justin Gaethje was never this much of a fucking punk. He was never this much of a prima donna. Now Justin Gaethje has been turned into that by his management team, ALI Abdelaziz and Dominance MMA, whatever they call it. ALI Abdelaziz is a fucking punk, a scumbag. Like, let's keep it going. We could, whatever you want to call it. He's all that stuff. But he's starting to rub off on Justin Gaethje. Justin wasn't like this before. Justin used to be one of my favorite fighters. But now that he's been so poisoned, so overtaken by ALI Abdelaziz, he's been influenced by ALI Abdelaziz, that now I can't even stomach the thought of Justin Gaethje. Yeah, I still love his fighting style. I'll still tune in to see him fight. But I certainly won't be rooting for him. I certainly won't be sitting there waiting for him to do well. He's signed by a terrorist. I don't root for any of Ali's fighters, for the record. I don't root for any of Ali's fighters. So you can say, oh, you just don't like the Dagestani, whatever. No, I don't like any of them. I don't like Justin. I don't like Khabib. I don't like Islam when it comes to who I'm rooting for. I think they're all great fighters, right? There's a difference. I respect their fighting abilities. I respect their abilities as fighters, but I don't root for them. I don't want them to succeed. I don't want anybody who is such a sucker that would sign a contract under Ali Abdelaziz is a fucking punk ass weird. You're weird. You don't have morale. And so therefore I don't want you to win. Like, what are you talking about? No, I don't want you to win. I'm not rooting for any of Ali's fighters ever. And on top of that, I also think that Ali's fighters' fights are rigged. So I'm not betting against them, but I'm damn sure not rooting for them. And vice versa. I'm damn sure not betting for them, and I'm definitely rooting against them. But I won't bet against them because I know his fights are rigged. They're set up in place. And they got, like Umar Nurmagomedov. Somebody tell me how the fuck it's possible that Umar Nurmagomedov has still not fought Sean O'Malley. Why? Because they're trying to keep them away from each other unless it's a title fight. But they cannot seem to bring that to a situation where things align, where Sean O'Malley has earned a shot at the same time as Umar. That's way too much to juggle. That's way too much to coordinate and way too much to fix simultaneously. So the MMA gods are talking. The MMA gods are talking. Limit scene, whatever. I will slap the taste out of your mouth. Shut up. Limit scene. I honestly, limit scene, look, you're wasting your time, buddy. You are absolutely nothing. And you're not like that. You're not built like that. So stop it. Stop it. You're not built like that, buddy. You know it. You're not. But anyways, like I was saying, the UFC is going out of their way to keep Sean O'Malley from Umar Nurmagomedov. Also, what we just noticed, Arman Tsarukyan is mad now because the fight that just got announced between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett is a interim title belt that they bent the knee to Justin pussy-ass Gaethje. Even though he didn't get the undisputed fight, he still got an interim. Oh well. Moving forward, that means Arman Tsarukyan, guess what? You're not getting the next title fight. That's what that means in the grand scheme of things. Even though any MMA enthusiast will tell you Arman is a favorite over Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett if he was to fight either one of those guys. But neither one of those guys are going to fight Ilia Topuria because they're fighting each other for the interim belt, and the interim champion is basically a shoo-in for the next title fight. Right? All right. So we got that out the way. So that means Arman Tsarukyan, the rightful contender, who also rightfully was put back, right? He was definitely put on the back burner, rightfully so. And I honestly don't have any sympathy for him at this point. So I just want to get the record clear of what's happening. I'm not taking sides on either of this situation. All I'm saying, yeah, Arman Tsarukyan, talent-wise, is definitely the rightful contender. Record-wise, activity-wise, he's the rightful contender. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, and narrative-wise, popularity-wise, is the right contender. So it's no wrong answer. I'm just trying to break this down so we all understand what we're about to see unfold here. And again, limit scene, you will get slapped, you bum. Shout outs to Garrison 26, right? Shout outs to Steven Cruz 2463, Elite, the awesome Rio Grande K28473. My man, how we doing? Steven Cruz, again, hello, my brother. Shout outs to you, everybody that's on the chat. I appreciate you. If you have any questions or you want to just say something and you want to go back and forth, put it in the comments. We can do this. We can dialogue. I'm not like these YouTubers who are such pussies that they can't go in and have a conversation with somebody who disagrees with them. If you disagree with me, say it. We can disagree respectfully, or we can do it disrespectfully. I honestly don't care. It is what it is. So, MMA House or MMA Bach, we're in the middle of MMAville, and yes, we keep it real.